What's going on, people? Welcome to the match preview show. Next up is Forest after the 1-0 win against Fredrikstad. And I'll be honest, we had our little debates behind the scenes, but you'd think we lost 3-0 against Fredrikstad. It seems like everything is going crazy behind the scenes between Steve Parish and Oliver Glasser. We'll be discussing that as well as players going into this game and more. But before we start the show, hit the like button, subscribe, and let us know your thoughts, most importantly, in the comment section down below, joined by Lou, Pat, and T. Gents, how are we feeling? I'll be honest, the last 24 hours, I'll start off with you, Lou. You was at the game. It doesn't feel like we just won our first European game and we've, dominated possession, took 25 shots. It feels literally like the opposite. But what's your feeling like going into this game?
Negatives. I'm going to look at the squad is incomplete. We lacked pace. We lacked creativity. Probably our most creative player was Mark Gahey, even though he is a very good player. Players in different positions. Walton and Hughes playing another 90 minutes. But the positives, I'm going to look at, I'll take you back to January 2025 when we played Stockport. And we won 1-0, and we struggled to beat a League One side with similar sorts of problems with the squad, injuries, people not rating Kamada, and Eze was playing in that game, and we struggled to break down Stockport and probably could have conceded a goal, and we ended up winning the competition. So you can look at it one way, you can look at it another way, but the main thing is getting through these games and getting the players in. Yeah,
Patrick, is a quick turnaround, of course. Thursdays to Sundays. Hopefully we have many more of these because, we want to see Palace play in Europe. Do you think with the squad issues that Lou was talking about, do we have enough in terms of, fitness and going into this game in terms of squad numbers?
No, the next 3 games get massive. Clearly, we're undermanned, understaffed. Glasser did mention today that Kamada will be available for Thursday, which is going to be massive for me personally. But clearly he doesn't rate certain players in the squad. We don't have the numbers, and it's going to be difficult. Again, I'd be very happy to get something out of Sunday and obviously not lose the next 2 matches, which means we definitely get through the next round in the Conference League. But it's going to be difficult. Listen, the manager put his flag in the ground yesterday with what he said. Owner made his comments, but right now we've got to get some bodies, as they say, over the line. We've got to get some players in because the owner's lacking right now as far as getting the players in. Director of football, wherever he is, not getting the job done. And the manager deserves it. So do the other players. So we got to get some players in soon.
Yeah. Forest, of course, the UEFA situation, which Glasser doesn't want to talk about anymore. And honestly, I don't want to talk about it as well. But do you think this adds a bit more to this game in comparison to previous years against Forest?
Oh, for sure. For the simple fact that the club is doing a lot as far as upping security for the match. Like, you wouldn't see something like that generally for match day 2 in the Premier League. But everything that surrounded this match, as far as the arbitration and the court cases and the back and forth, it definitely has added an element of tension and heightened awareness to this particular match in a lot of ways. And then, Nottingham Forest, they got their own stuff going on over there. You've heard a lot about what's going on with Nuno and his relationship with Marinakis. So there's a lot going on and a lot that's going into this match.
Do you think it's the start of a new rivalry, Lou?
No, not for me. Don't really.
Does anyone else feel like this could be the start of it? I was having this, not debate, but Wolfie said he doesn't think so either. He thinks after the season.
This is typical online tribalism.
Oh, yeah.
It's some goofiness, man.
You said that, but then I think it was Palace that spoke to Met Police about additional numbers potentially for this game. So maybe they're a bit more worried that it's more than just online.
Prevention's better than cure.
Yeah.
Word to pot paper.
Yeah, the proximity of the clubs, the histories don't have anything really going on. It's just this one, cluster blank of events that happened with the whole cast case with Europa League, etc. There's no reason for us to have a rivalry with Nottingham Forest. I mean, the histories, again, intertwine. The biggest game I remember us playing was the FA Cup third round replay game. And we don't have a history with Forest even in matches. And that's how rivalries are born on the pitch, not born off the pitch. So I don't think there's anything that happened between. Yeah, I agree they should have some security for the game on Sunday because you never know what could happen. As Lou said, prevention better than the cure. But as far as the rivalry,
It was actually scraps. Sorry to cut you off. No, nothing. It was. I just had to correct it. I just.
It's just it's an old saying, bro. It's not.
Okay. Yeah. No, it just reminded me of him. But anyway, sorry, Patrick.
No. So yeah, I don't think my final point. I don't think there's a rivalry brewing. It's just a bunch of nonsense. So hopefully we'll get past on Sunday and not have to deal with it again until we play them again, whenever that is.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes down to it, T, do you think there might be a bit more from the players itself in terms of point to prove, due to the fact that they know that this Forest side that they're facing, they're the ones that took their Europa League spot?
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think the players put any more into it. I think for them, it's business as usual, and you're being a professional. The most important thing for them that they care about is going in and winning the match. And I think with having a manager like Glasner, that's the one thing that's on their mind and that they keep at the forefront. So for them, it's like all this other stuff doesn't matter as long as we go out on the pitch and do what we're supposed to do and win the match. So for them, I think the most important thing is going out there and playing at the highest level. So,
Yeah, look, I don't think there will be a new rivalry. As I mentioned, I think it will calm down after the season. I don't wish any good for Forest, to be fair, because of the owner. That's my stance on it. I'm not scared about it. So yeah, I mean, let's see what actually happens in this game. I don't think we're ready though. I don't think we're ready for this game. I think the timing couldn't have been any worse. Losing Eze right before this fixture and Fredrikstad is just pure nonsense. It's just ridiculous. We haven't got any replacements at the football club, and I'll be honest, I'm worried about the creativity. I mean, when you're looking at the squad in this game, what do you reckon, Lou?
Yeah, I think creativity is probably the biggest issue in this game. I think both teams are really good defensively, so it could be a stalemate. I think Glasner even spoke about it in his press conference. He even said there's going to be a game with not many chances. It doesn't look good, really. It doesn't look good. They've got way more. What?
Just look.
Why would I be rattled?
I don't know. I don't know. You told me. You just huffed and puffed there. Normally you wouldn't. Like when you're concerned, I'm concerned because you're normally not concerned.
No. We normally have Eze who can produce something out of nothing.
That's the issue.
So, I always think you need like Saar gets more space because Eze takes up 2 or 3 players as well. Even when it's a lower block, he's still going to get more space if Eze's playing. I'll be real. No one ain't scared of Devaney.
I was going to go to that next.
No
one ain't scared of Devaney. I don't think he's a number 10. I'll be honest. I don't think he had the greatest of games against Fredrikstad. He's not number 10.
I would be tempted to play a similar formation that we played against Villa last year away, and maybe go Wharton, Hughes, and Lerma in the middle and try and dominate the midfield, and maybe go 2 up top, push Saar and Mateta onto Milenkovic and Murillo. That may be an idea.
He rates Devaney. That's the thing, Patrick. I don't know. I know you rate.
That's just an idea because that's just an idea.
Yeah, personally, I don't think he's a number 10. I think that, funny enough, the player that we might be able to put in that position, if you're talking about player to beat the players, is going to be Romain Esse.
What about what I said though? You didn't.
Well, you said, yeah, to a certain degree. But I don't know if he's going to change it in this game. I don't know. Potentially, yeah, maybe he can. He spoke.
Could that work?
I think it could. I think it's better than having Devaney and Saar as 2 number 10s against a Forest side that's going to sit back, because I think Saar is most useful when they're spacing behind and there's something for him to use his pace towards. So I don't think having Devaney and Saar there is going to help. But let's see, maybe Saar can produce in this game if they push up and press a little bit more. But what's your stance on it, Patrick?
So I think Devaney got a lot of stick yesterday, but I want to go back to what bothered me most about yesterday was the fact that the way Eze announced he wasn't going to play, that messed up the entire game plan for me, because we expected him to play. The manager expected. He said it the day before. I got no problem. They didn't want to play, but the way it was done, Devaney was not expecting to play. So people want to criticize the kid. we weren't expecting to play. So for him to come into that position, and again, a lot of time when he's played, he is a number 10, but he's not a wide number 10. He actually plays as a traditional middle of the park number 10, or he's a center midfielder. So he got a lot of criticism yesterday. He's not Eze, so let's not compare him. I think the game plan thrown out the window. What Lou mentioned about changing it, I would say, yeah, great, but we're going to have no time to implement that. The only time they're going to train it will be tomorrow. So I don't think there's any way that we can implement a change in that formation. And going back to missing Eze, I get it. Trust me, it's going to be a massive, massive ask. But at least I feel better now that the manager can prepare to play without him, because yesterday he wanted to play with him. Last time we played without him, guys, was the Wolves 2-2 game. The last time we played without Eze, Olise, or Zaha, and we drew 2-2. Same formation we always play, but it was Nketiah, Sarr, and Mateta. So we can produce goals. It's just a matter of being used to not having Eze in the lineup, which again, it's a massive, and it has to be addressed. I'm not saying don't address it. I'm not saying anything that give people in the chat later on. I'm just saying that we can't play without Eze, but it's a matter of having a mindset before and the manager knowing that and then be able to set up in a certain way, as opposed to the day of the match, a player saying, I don't feel well, I'm not going to play. And I think that was the biggest problem yesterday, not the fact that Devaney played poorly or whoever played poorly yesterday.
What do we think of Esse not getting an opportunity against Fredrikstad? I'll be honest. When I saw Edward come on, I looked at Lou. I said, "What is going on? Like, what on earth is going on? That is crazy." I found that crazy, considering when Glasner actually spoke about it after the game. He said, "You know, there's a couple players that are on the squad that we told them to leave the club." And I think Edward is one of them. The fact that he's coming on ahead of Romain Esse, I mean, it's not a good look to you. What do you think is going on?
It's not a good look at all. I mean, it honestly probably means that he doesn't trust Esse at all to go out there, even in a match against a lesser side where it could have been a good match for him to get in and actually play a little bit. It's a bad sign, man. It's a bad sign. I mean, you got a guy like Edouard going in ahead of you that was on loan last year, wasn't a trusted player for Glasner, and he's back and he's been told to leave, and yet he's still seeing the pitch ahead of Esse. I mean, not to mention the fact that you already starting Devaney over him in the 10 spot to start the game. And we all, like we've all said, we really rate Devaney. We think he's a good player, but he's not a 10, you know? So I think it sends a clear message to us as the fan base, and also hopefully it's sending a very clear message to Esse that he needs to work harder probably in training.
I want to add one thing, and I put it in our group chat earlier today, that I think we have to look at our recruitment, because when Zaha left, we bought in France. When we thought that when Olise left, we bought in Esse. And be honest with you, the reason why we weren't worried about losing Eze in the future was that we had France on the left and Esse on the right. That was the plan. One player is not ready by the manager, we all think, and one player is injured and wants to go out back on loan back to his country. So the recruitment has not done its job, and that's on them, and that's let down the manager big time, because the manager would have said, okay, I've got Sarr and Eze now, great for a year, blah, blah, blah. But I know that in a year or so, I have these two young players come through, and both of them, for different reasons, you know, one being injured a lot, one being not being rated or whatever. I don't even know. I'm not going to say not rated. I have no idea why Eze's not playing. But that's a problem when I recruit end, because we have let down. Because we talk about we need players now, and we do. But those two players should be stepping up, and the opportunity is there, and they haven't. And that, for me, is a bigger problem. Or as big a problem is not getting in other players. You know what I mean?
How much of that blame goes to see Parish then when it comes to the recruitment? Because a lot of people are upset with Parish about him not spending money. With Glasner's comments as well. Glasner spoke in a pre-match press conference, and he literally said that if I'm worried if Crystal Palace don't sign the right players, and he looked very upset. You can just watch the video and watch it on mute, and you can see by his body language he looks very upset over the lack of dealings. How much of that falls down to see Parish, Patrick?
You know what? Maybe he's skittish. Maybe he said, I spent money on France. I spent money on Esse. It hasn't worked out. I'm not going out for another young player. Maybe he just feels like I don't want to get burnt a third time. I don't know. See, listen, we all know how risk averse Parish is in the first place. So he has, but he has taken chances. In those two cases, it hasn't worked out yet. So maybe he doesn't want to go out and buy another young player. Let's just throw his name out, El Canus, and say, I'm not spending $35 million on him if it's going to be the same road as Esse and France. I don't know. Does it fall on Parish to somewhat? He bought players in the past, and it didn't work out. So I don't know. But again, we'll get the Parish stuff probably more later on. But the thing is, he's to blame for sure. But he has done some really good things in the past. And right now, he needs to address the issue that the manager says we need to get players in now. And whether it's a attacker or whatever position, players need to be brought in because the manager needs help, and so does this team.
Let's talk about it now. Let's talk about it now as we're on the topic. I'll go over to you, Lou, next. See Parish, a lot of fans are upset with him. I'm seeing even likes of Tim, for example, in the match reaction, saying, as much as I love Parish, he can't mess this up kind of, vibes. And he said on the match reaction. On social media, of course, you hear fans on social media talking every other day about different issues, but I can see it. A lot of people are on Glasgow's side. Is Parish under fire? And I ask you the same question. Is he under fire now? Are we reaching a point where questions have to be asked whether he's reached his limits in terms of what he can do holding an ownership within this football club?
I always said I would only be upset when Oliver Glasner said he was upset. And I've said it from the start consistently. If the manager's happy, I'm happy. If the manager hasn't got any complaints, I do want to. I am not a fan of how Parish is dealing with this window. I also want to put out there are a lot of Premier League managers who are not happy with their board at the moment. But yeah, I put the quote out yesterday. I said, you either die a hero or you live long enough to become the villain. His winning the FA Cup was taking us to Europe was his hero moment. He's moving into villainous areas. So
why? What does he need to do for you for him to get out of that area? Is it a case of Glasgow being upset? Is that what's making him move into that villainous area for you?
Not making the best manager we've ever had and probably one of the top managers in Europe unhappy. Even risking it.
To play devil's advocate, you don't know where I stand with Parish. What can he do if we don't have the money?
We do have money now.
Yeah, we do have it now, but we didn't have money about a week ago when Glasgow was saying we should have signed replacements then. Based on what Parish was saying.
But you was the one. I was the one who said I didn't know how much money we had. So.
So you think like it's you're not looking into that?
You should have a director of football quicker. You should have been better at selling players to raise capital. Raksaki should have been sold last summer. Ahamada should have been sold. Edward should have been sold. All these players should have been sold.
Finally, we literally had a debate. We literally had this debate about Edward about a few weeks ago. You're like, how can he sell him if no one wants him? Like it was
but that's why he's not here. That's why he's still here because he can't sell him. But you just asked me what could Parish.
You're using that against Steve Parish though. You
just asked me.
Edward should have been sold, and that was my whole stance. It's like we should be a better selling club.
Think about what you're doing. You just asked me what he could have done. You asked me a question.
Okay, yeah, but you said that there's no interest. So how could he have sold Edward? And you was the one that was saying how can we sell him if there's no interest?
But you asked me what he could have done more. I only could have. Do you want me to just say I don't know?
No. But it's funny how you mentioned Edward because that was one of my stances as well.
But that's it. I told you, you're not making any light bulb moments, bro. Everyone knows. Everyone and their dog knows Edward needs to go. There's not one person who don't know.
Yeah, but then a few weeks ago you weren't. Literally, you weren't admitting it. You're saying, what can we do? That's your stance.
What are you talking about?
Your stance was, what can we do? Because no other clubs are interested in him. So it's funny how now you're using that against Steve Parish. That's what I'm saying.
How am I using it against him?
Because I said, what else could he have done? And you said not selling Hamada, not selling Edward. And I said the same thing. But then you just had a debate with me a few weeks ago.
But you just asked me.
But before you wasn't saying that. That's my point. You
can't ask me what he could have done better.
I asked you about 2 shows ago. And you said
everyone knows that he should have sold these players.
Look, I feel like you're changing your stance right now because Oliver Glasner is coming out and saying what he's saying.
Oh, so I'm changing my stance. What was my stance all the time?
Your stance was, I agree. You said that Edward should be sold, but
no. What was my original stance about Oli Glasner and the manager? What was my original stance? If the manager's not happy,
you're not happy.
So have I not just landed then?
But I called it about a few weeks ago and you was debating with me about the Edward situation. You're saying, what can we do about it? No one wants him.
We clearly can't do anything about it because he's still here.
So why are you using it against him right now?
Because you just asked me.
Okay. All right.
I think it's more of a conversation of the fact that the Edward situation is mishandled because he should have been sold last season, and now we're stuck with him now with literally next to no value.
Yeah.
So I get where Lou's coming from because he's saying that it should have been handled like Edward in general should have been handled better.
But I get where he's coming from as well, and I agree with him. And I was making the same point, but I'm saying
everyone knew that point. I'm saying you wasn't making a point that everyone didn't know. You just pointed out
no.
Obvious.
But
the sky
you
is
argued
blue.
against me. That was the whole point. You was arguing against me when I mentioned it.
No, I didn't argue against you. I never
know,
argued about selling against
you. You did not argue against me when I mentioned Edward.
No one argued on this ever that we shouldn't have sold Edward. And
so what was you saying?
No one did.
What was the whole debate about? We
need to get players in the back the manager. We've always said that. That's
not about selling plays. We spoke about selling plays. I mean, you can go back and watch.
Okay, all right. But also last summer we did sell well. At least say aside with Louis' club, we sold Ayu for 5.1. We sold Johnson for 10 million, and we sold Anderson at the wrong time, maybe.
And we sold Anderson for 30.
That's what I'm saying. So we don't always sell poorly, but this transfer has been a disaster because, again, as Lou said. Now, Ahmad has no value. Everyone has no value. And even Raksaki has no value because I can guarantee you, when he said 2 players on the bench that one need to leave, that was Raksaki and Edward. And they have no value.
I have been, Patrick, how many times have I been saying to sell all these players?
Too many times.
So, bro, you're just making it up, bro.
To win an argument. All right, cool. I'll find the clip and I'll show it to you. I'll find the clip. Okay. People can go watch back as well.
You can go back.
It was about, I think it was Liverpool.
Dude, we're pre-recorded. You can edit it and drop it in this video when
it's on YouTube. You can't edit. I can't drop it in right now. I can't drop it in right now.
You should drop the Forest clip for the clips from Forest away from last season as well.
Huh?
Remember after Forest away last season? Yeah, we should drop those clips as well.
About the manager, you mean?
You can drop It's funny enough, we're facing Forest, so it might be good timing.
The ones where
is that the if he doesn't change his tactics, he's gonna have to go?
Maybe T. We're not sure though. Could be.
Do you see Parish winning in any case now? Because I truly believe that it's reaching that point now where even his biggest fans are looking and saying, you know what, you've done a great job.
Who's his biggest fans? I don't get who these people are, bro. Who is Parish's biggest fans?
There's people like Patrick.
Who?
Hypothetically, his biggest fans.
So again, you can be a fan of the guy and still critique him. There's not. Listen, Parish has been the best owner we've ever had.
No one's denying that. And my question was, has he hit the ceiling?
But I don't. You know what? If he doesn't back the manager and the manager walks, probably he'll have 0 fans. As Lou said, he can go from hero to villain very quickly. What he needs to do to change people's perception. All it is that perception, by the way. It's not, is that he needs to back the manager now and make the manager happy. Because like Lou said, the manager's happy, just like Lou, I'm happy. And I think that's most of the fan base is the same way. But the fact is, he hasn't backed the manager at this point, and he has to back the manager. He can't go on Channel 5 and talk nonsense about Gay had signed a new contract and blah, blah. No, he has to go out and get players in that the manager said, and I put a certain profile down that I need, and then sign those players. And we all know, to be honest, buying players and closing deals is not Parish's strong suit. Why he sold Eze before bringing the player will forever astound me. You cannot sell Eze.
This is false. This is the problem, Patrick. This is the problem. The reason why I sold Eze and the reason why I didn't sell Gahey last year is because he's forced. Glasgow's coming out saying he needs players and we want to be self-sustainable. There's no money. No one wants to put their own money into the football club. And that's why I'm asking the question, has he hit his ceiling? Because it makes no sense because his release clause, there's a clear reason. Why is it 2 weeks before the window ends? Because we believe as a football club, that's too late to sell a player of that caliber to another club. And now he's literally gone and done the opposite and sold him because he doesn't have the money. And that's why I'm asking, has he hit his ceiling? Because I feel like
he has. That's hence my hero and Villa thing. But another thing is, I never got into football. I'm sick of talking about finance. I never ever found my love of football through PSRs, transfer windows. I'm sick of it, bro. Like I'm sick of it. I don't go to the pub before the game. I don't meet friends to talk about PSR and finances. It's boring. He has got no money.
But it's reality.
He needs to be bought out. He needs to be bought out. He can be reinstated.
That's the biggest thing that's holding him back is the fact that out of all the owners, he doesn't have any money.
everyone and their dog can see Parish needs to sell his shares and hopefully be part of the club without ownership and still help run the club day to day. Everyone needs this. Everyone knows that. There's if we're talking about people who don't see that, there are 0.001% deluded or trolling online. Everyone knows it. It's obvious. Saying we need to sell these players is obvious. Saying we need to bring these players in is obvious. Like, it's the most obvious thing.
Yeah, but it's obvious, but we're not doing it. That's the point. That's why
we can't do anything.
What am I going to do? We can't get a whip round, can we? It's not a startup.
I know. But I'm seeing people talking about potential bringing out banners to games again.
Oh, but you're online again. You're doing that's being chronically online, bro. Like, so what?
It's not chronically online though. Let's not be deluded. People did bring banners to games. Didn't you see Arsenal away?
That was Hodgson.
That was Hodgson, but who was it against? It was not against Hodgson. It was against
bring flags up.
You don't think that could potentially happen? So you don't think that could potentially happen? That these same people.
So that's just a reflection. It's just a reflection on society. People, that's what people are. But
that's why we're discussing it. That's why we're discussing it. You're saying it's obvious. Yeah, it is obvious, but it's not happening. Nothing.
But how can we change it? We can't change it.
Well, as I said, there's people mentioning that. I'm not saying I agree with it. Like, I don't know if we reach that point, but there's people who are genuinely unhappy. So
this is the worst time to bring out flags. The manager is here. The players need backing. They don't need extra distractions.
I agree.
So I don't know. I'm not the one bringing out flags. It's not me. Don't look at me. I'm just
that's my opinion, isn't it? If you're bringing out a flag, it's nonsense.
And the manager said, in talking about the Forest situation and the animosity, he said, no, this is the time to back the team, not worry about the animosity towards the Forest. No, I don't agree. Listen, you can protest all you want, you can have your opinions, but no, I don't agree with bringing out flags now. Absolutely not. And the transfer window, blah blah blah. Yeah, but absolutely not now. We need to back the guys for Sunday Forest. Frederick Starr for sure.
I agree.
Yeah, 100%.
We got too much going on. Too much going on right now.
Too much, man. Too much.
And Parish has got about 10 days left now or so to fix it. But even then, I don't know if he totally fixes the issue, even if he brings in 3-4 players, because of the fact that Glasner mentioned he's not happy with the way we've approached the whole window. It's not about just the players. It's about getting in players early once again. How we reaching deadline there and signing 3-4 players is the same thing as last year. So I don't know how much.
Loads of Premier League managers. Nuno just got given 6 new players and he's moaning. Marco Silva, all these players.
Yeah, but as I always say, I look at Palace's situation differently to other situations. Glasner spoke about last year. Was Nuno speaking about this last year? No.
Nope.
Exactly. So Glasner spoke about this last year. He's speaking about this year. I don't care about Wolves, Nuno. I don't care about Forest. I don't care about any other club. I don't care about Brentford. This is our scenario. This is our owner. Every owner works differently.
If you go back and look, Glasner has actually made a comment every window that he's been here. He made the same comment.
So that's why it's becoming an issue. That's why I don't care
Tampa
about
Palace brought up every single instance.
Yeah. That's why I don't care about
exactly
clubs and what they do. I care about my club because I know this is my club's issue. Every club have their own context and reasons behind why they don't do it. And right now we're talking about potentially Steve Parish. Anyways, we haven't got long left. Just in terms of the actual lineup, what do you really change? You bring in Richards?
Just get a draw at least and win on Thursday and
no predictions, not yet. We're not doing predictions yet.
Richards.
I think you see Richards.
It's exactly the same lineup. Exactly the same except for someone in for Eze.
As
Chelsea.
Oh, it's Chelsea.
Exactly the same as Chelsea, but someone's got to replace Eze. That's what it's going to be.
I think you might see maybe Lerma get in there into the midfield to give a break to either Wharton or Hughes, and then maybe they kind of like do a shift with Wharton and Hughes, kind of like have them break up the time so that they're not doing full 90s.
Yeah, that's a great point.
You know what? Do you know Glasner? I don't know, man management. You don't play essay. You see his reaction. How do you react in training? What's your mood around? If you're positive and you look like you're hungry, do you get your chance, or do you mope around, or do you mope and put your head down? And do you know what I mean? So let's see.
Yeah. I think it's going to be Devaney, but only time will tell. Only time will tell. Score predictions, Patrick. What's the latest after Fredrikstad?
Last match, everyone went for win. No one had 1-0, so everyone got a point.
Just 1 point. Yeah.
Right.
I said 2-0, didn't I?
Yeah, 2. So you had 2. You were closest with 2. You and Louis both had 2, but
Yeah.
And
I had 2 as well.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
I
D
had
had
2
2
nil.
now as
Yeah,
well.
and D had 2. You did. I'm
Okay,
thinking.
I'm just checking. Yeah.
Yeah, I know you're just checking.
I mean, just-
More than,
I don't know what you wrote for my score prediction. I'm just checking in there.
So current standings has AJ on 4, D, Louis, myself, and Stan on 2, tied for second. Then Nick.
No.
T. What? No.
I got a point. I had an extra. Whoa, man! I need to go. What?
Bro, stop all this. Stop all this, man. Stop all this. You
No.
literally
Stop
you're
the
on your
counting.
second by alphabetical order, bro.
Yeah, but how am I level on points with you lot? I swear I had an extra point than you lot.
How though?
You said we were gonna beat Chelsea.
Right. So what fixture you getting a point from?
Okay.
Are you?
I
you want me to
thought I did.
show-
I thought I did.
Yeah, all right. You know what? Okay, you've lost your
Nah,
mind.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. We're
chat
early in the
today.
season. We can count how many matches we've had on one hand. He's already debating. Wait
Okay,
until we
so
get later
so
into
I'm
the
second,
season.
right?
It's gonna get
I'm
bad.
second. So how many points? I'm 2 points behind AJ, right?
You know what? Do it by last name and put him down. Alphabetical order, last name.
So just to be clear, we played 3 matches, right? If you include Liverpool. D,
Yeah.
first match you had 2-1 Palace. Did Palace win 2-1?
No.
Against Liverpool, we won that game. No, but
Right, you had-
You should
you
have
had-
never been
I got
given a
it.
point for
How many
that.
points do you get for that?
yeah,
1, correct?
Yeah.
Shouldn't have been given a point for
You had
that.
2-1 Palace. Did we beat Chelsea 2-1, D?
Oh no,
How many points do you get for that?
0.
Right.
But we should have been them.
You had Frederick Start game. You had Palace 2-0. You got the result, but not the score. How many points do you get?
I don't know. I don't
Right.
want one.
So just do the math. 1 + 1 is 2. You have 2
All right,
points.
cool. I'm second. Yeah, I'm second as well. Yeah.
So are Louis and I. So I don't understand your.
Yeah. Okay. All right, cool.
So
I
anyway,
score prediction for this one. I'll start off with you, Lou.
Why are you going to me first?
Because last week you copied my score prediction, and I don't want the same thing.
T, you go first.
1-0 Forest.
Oh, never mind. 1-0.
Oh, okay. 1-0 Forest. See, you know when there's points on the line, people are way more honest. Otherwise, everyone will predict Palace wins. I like this. See?
Mate, all you ever do is say 2-1 Palace.
No, I don't. I think you know Palace.
That's
last
all
time.
you ever say is 2-1.
I said 2-0
Oh,
Palace last time.
I think I'm gonna back the boys and say 2-1 Palace.
I do back them. T?
I'll say a 1-1 draw.
Okay.
I'll take that all day long, bro.
Mhm.
I'm doing
Me
reverse
too.
judge, by the way.
Me too.
Bro, just say that you don't know a ball.
I'll take 0
Okay.
points for a draw.
Last 5 matches, Palace have lost 1, drawn 4, 1-1
Yeah,
last time, 1-1, 0-0, and 1-1. Anybody remember real quick? Anybody remember the last Palace win versus Forest?
It's been a while,
1987.
hasn't it?
Championship.
Yeah, remember who was score?
Glenn
One-
Murray hat trick.
No, it's Glenn Murray go 1-0 away. In that lineup, there were 2 current Palace coaches. Who were they?
McCarthy.
And
Baroni and
Excellent.
McCarthy.
Oh,
And-
man.
easy one. D, only for D. D, what current player was in the Palace lineup that day? Your favorite. Only for D, no one else.
What current player?
Palace player was in the lineup that day for Palace. It's in
Nathaniel
2011. Yeah, exactly. Nice one. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and he's still here. Well, you left and came back,
What's-
obviously. But
What's your prediction?
I'm going 0-0 because I don't see us scoring a goal. There's no way I see us scoring a goal. In this
You
game.
don't see them scoring either.
And I'll take a point. I'll take a point all
Yeah.
day, every day.
Go on,
Yeah, I'm
D.
going 0-0 as well. I'm going 0-0 as
Oh,
well.
so you copy me. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going 0-0 as well. I'm realistic about this. But let us know your score predictions in the comment section.
Forest not going to score. Okay.
Drop a like, subscribe. Hopefully you back the boys, unlike certain people on here who just care about their own points rather than actually backing the boys. But yeah, we'll be back for the match reaction and opposition preview. But until next time, up the Palace.
Up the Palace.